Hi, Nevaeh here. I hope everyone's well. I've got the candle lit for this reading and incense going as well. Hope everyone's doing well. So, right off the hat, I should say hat, I'm getting books are important and storyteller. Books and storyteller. Oh, and I feel like I'm talking about, Lord, I'm talking about a masculine and a feminine energy. And this is going to be in two parts, I feel like. So this is going to be part one, focus more on the feminine, I feel like. Okay. I got the good old tower. Tower upside down, which actually is a good thing, right? So this feminine, is basically under some type of major transformation. And they're kind of delaying the inevitable and trying to escape disaster. But they don't want to accept that they just really have to walk right into it and let it all fall apart. This also is a sign that's very earth energy, Mars. I see aggression and desire in here from this feminine. She maybe could be a bit more competitive. And I feel like she was involved with somebody that took her for her superficial attraction. She was beautiful. And they, this masculine treated her very casual. And on one hand and on the other hand, I feel like he laid out a past saying, I love you. I want to do everything for you. Come into my life. There was that message, and it brought a lot of chaos, really, is what it did. And despite that, there was a breakdown, and the masculine moved away from this feminine. And I think she was very devastated, very devastated. So what I get now is there's the World card, which is kind of super. So I feel like that's kind of happened over a period of time, maybe years. And it's been in and out for communication. And this is a sign, the world is completion and integration. So this feminine is integrating different parts of herself and trying to express it and bring harmony to her soul. This is also very earth energy, discipline, structure, daily. And I feel like the masculine that's involved is staying back, and it has now switched his line of communication with her and his level of commitment, and he does not want to risk anything in his life, whether it be ego, finances, status quo. And he's kind of put her on the shelf and said, well, you're going to need to settle for friendship. Let's settle for friendship. I can guide you like I do many, many people and many women. And I think that's been a lot for the feminine to swallow. He wants her to bring the world to herself. And that keeps him in his seat of safety. And that's just the only way he's going to ever function, is from what I understand. So there is success. There is this World card. This feminine's integrating different aspects of herself. I think, her creativity, her sexuality, her skills and talents and path of transferable skills that she's built over her life, okay, to bring into harmony. So the feminine is starting to understand her place in the grand scheme of her own life, and in the world in general. So this is definitely a unity card between the two of them. Perhaps not the unity that was first given and promised, but unity nonetheless. And then I got the Page of Swords, which is, again, a bit of a green or a new energy. And thirst for knowledge is from this, though, always wanting to learn more. This feminine wants to learn more. She should look for new opportunities and take a hold of them. And I feel like the masculine does this very naturally. A full flow of always having lots of discussion and debate and trying something new and a little bit witty and a chatterbox sometimes. Definitely a dreamer. Um, and I feel like the feminine, though, is being called to try something new that she hasn't done yet, to kind of integrate herself fully. That's what this kind of card says. And then I'm getting, on that note, the chatter, I'm getting laughter. This bond has a lot of laughter and humor. And what came to my mind really was, you know, like a crunchy piece of yummy bacon. Bring me home and eat me up like a crunchy piece of bacon, is kind of what this feminine was hoping, I think, but has had to settle for something very different. So we come into the final piece, which is quite wonderful, which is the Magician or the Mage, depending on which deck you have. So this is manifestation. This feminine has lots of intellect and logic, although they're much more heart-based to move with their heart. They need to gather everything and all their tools and put them to proper practice in a disciplined way. And communication's very strong with this suit. So the masculine energy will be more part 2, but I do sense the masculine is very good at different styles of communication and getting his message across, and is very patient, although sometimes I think gets pretty frustrated, much like the feminine is in this situation. So this is a get going, let's manifest it, let's make this happen kind of card. And they do make this happen, and this feminine will make this happen. So that's super. What else can I say? I feel like the feminine was very confused for a long time. Very difficult to trust. And she had learned a pattern of communication online that was quite deceitful and had to pull herself away from that. And I think a lot of feminines are actually going through that online. It's kind of it's a sea of mystery, and it takes a lot to figure it out. And this masculine is also a very, very smart and guiding figure for her to learn from. And she's realized that and is moving forward with getting going. So if you resonated with this and you need a reading, click the link in the bio.